So I'd like to talk a little bit about Hammerspoon. What is it? Well, I like to think of it as basically an alternative to something like Keyboard Maestro. A bit different in terms of how it approaches setting up automations, but at the end of the day, you can do things like set up keyboard shortcuts or event-based triggers or other things like maybe a Stream Deck button that can then trigger an activity that can run in the background then and do something to improve your environment, for example, GUI scripting. So first up, if I come over to the command line here, I've got my Lua configuration. So with Keyboard Maestro, if you've used that, you know that there's a GUI that you can use to then configure macros. Those macros have actions, so those can execute the various activities you'd like, for example, a keyboard shortcut. In the case of Hammerspoon, you're talking about a Lua configuration file. And this particular file, it lives in the .hammerspoon directory inside of an init Lua file. That's the entry point. Of course, you can split that up into other files as well. So that's what I've got here. And I've got a first example of a hotkey that I bound here. I've got a key bound to Command, Alt, and Control, and then C. I'm using this prefix of modifiers here to kind of namespace the various actions I'm setting up with Hammerspoon so I can keep them separate and remember them. Long term, I'll plan on just having Stream Deck buttons for most of this, but for now, I've got a few keyboard shortcuts set up. So the C key gets mapped to a function here. And if I just run this here, you'll see what happens. You can see it shows a clock. And I can hide it by toggling it again, or I can turn it on, wait about 5 seconds, and it should toggle away as well. And that's all because right here, I'm loading what's known as a spoon, which you can just think of as like a package, like a node package. And essentially that has code inside of it to deal with showing the clock, hiding the clock, etc. And so then I'm just toggling it on and off with this keyboard shortcut. So that is the first example. Another example down below that is pretty easy to understand here is an emoji picker. So if I wanted to insert an emoji here, and I didn't want to use the macOS emoji picker, which sucks, to be honest. It's such a terrible interface. Well, then in that case here, I could invoke a different shortcut that I set up to the E key. So Command, Alt, Control, and E in this case. And now I can just search through here. I can put in mad. You can see it inserts it then. So yeah, that's just an emoji picker. And in this case, instead of setting up a binding for a hotkey using this hotkey module that's a part of Hammerspoon here, instead, I'm using, well, I'm loading a spoon again, another package here for the emojis package. And in this case, it's got a bind hotkeys method. And then you use that to pass a shortcut key for the toggle action, which is just to hide and show that. So show, hide, pick something, etc. So those are kind of high level actions. They involve somebody else's package of software that's already been written. You just plug them into a keyboard shortcut. You can also go much lower level here. And if I come up above, so I've got a key bound here. This is bound to the W key. And in this case, I'm actually going to take the window and manipulate the position of the window. So I'm going to come over to my browser here. And if I use this shortcut here, which is the W key, you can see I move it over to the right and down a little bit. It's at the top left corner. That's at 400, 400. That's where I'm putting it. If I hit that exact same key again here, moves it to 0, 0, and then 400, 400. So I'm just toggling it back and forth. Now, obviously, you could imagine resizing the window, moving it maybe to the left side, to the right side, up, down the corner, or maybe thirds. You could imagine there's a lot of things you could do here with Windows management that you could set up keyboard shortcuts with that would then take the place of needing some other application. Like right now I use, where is it at? Here's Better Snap. That's what I use. And so this is what I use to split windows right now. But theoretically, I could get rid of this if I just took all of my key mappings from Better Snap and just put it into bindings here inside of Hammerspoon instead. I could then get rid of that application. I wouldn't need that to be running. And that's because there's this module here, the hs.window module. It's a part of Hammerspoon. And inside of here, there are methods like figuring out what the focused window is. Once you do that, then you can figure out where that window's at. So the top left corner, you could get the size of it. And then you can change the position of it with the set top left function. And you can also set the size of it with the set size function. So there's a lot of methods that are available to manipulate windows. And then if I scroll down a little bit more here, I've got another binding. In this case, I'm setting up the M key, and I'm binding that to finding the mouse position, and then I'm going to draw a box around the mouse. So look where my cursor is over on the right there. If I invoke the M shortcut, you can see it draws a box around it. If I move it and do it again, draws another box, move it and do it again, draw another box, etc. So I can basically highlight where my mouse is at. Of course, ideally in reality, I would get rid of the boxes maybe after a second. Right now, I don't have that code wired up, though. If I wanted to add that, I could come down here. I've got that commented out here. Could uncomment that, save that. And then if I want to reload my changes here, this is my Lua configuration for Hammerspoon. I've got a button set up on my Stream Deck to do that. Just hit the reload button here. And so now if I try that again, you can see the square shows up, do another one over here, do another one over here, and you can see they're disappearing within about 3 seconds. So maybe I want to tweak that down to, I don't know, 1/4 of a second, just something that's long enough to call out the position of my mouse. So that's based on this canvas module, which just allows you to draw anywhere on the screen and all sorts of things. You can fill in shapes, you can do strokes like I'm doing here to outline a shape. So you can see right here, I'm appending an element. It is of type rectangle. It's just a stroke, so it's not filled in. I think if I just change this over to fill here instead, I've also got the fill color set up. I think if I do that and reload my config again, by the way, you can see what the Hammerspoon console looks like if I open the app up here. You can see there's a lot of output from previous runs. I'll clear that out with another button that I have set up, and I'll reload the config again. You can see there is the output from reloading the config. So that's helpful to know that that's what you can use to figure out if there's a problem with your configuration. So yeah, now that I've reloaded that, I think if I were to do my shortcut again, yeah, you can see there you go. It now fills in the entire square. It doesn't just outline it. So now I've got a different type of square. I could change it to a circle theoretically. I've actually haven't tried that. Let's try that next. Probably need something else besides what I'm using here for a square, but let's just see what happens. Clear, run again. Well, no errors on startup. Let's just see. There you go. There's a circle. So I think that's the high level overview of what you can do. It's just an automation framework that allows you to plug into all sorts of things. It's important to understand there's actually really good documentation behind this. So if you come out to the Hammerspoon site, you have a getting started guide. Highly recommended to go through that. A bunch of different activities you can perform, basically little automations you can set up. And then once you're done with that, definitely take a look at the API documentation. So I mentioned several times there are modules that we're using, like the canvas module or the mouse module. All of those modules are listed here. You can search at the top or just search in the page. I could do window, for example. Here is the window module. You can see inside of here, here's the set top left corner. Here's set size, here's set full screen. Lots of different methods you can call to read information or query information, as well as to manipulate the window contents. And of course, then there's also the canvas module, or one of the ones that I'm really excited about, and one of the reasons why I wanted to try Hammerspoon was the module here for the accessibility framework in macOS. So this essentially wraps around the accessibility framework that's a part of macOS's APIs, and it gives you the ability to script just about anything you could imagine when it comes to a window. So if you've ever heard of GUI scripting or something like Selenium, this is essentially similar type functionality specific to macOS. It would allow you to take a button in an application that doesn't have a shortcut for it. You could literally create a shortcut that then clicks that button. I've done all sorts of automations with this in the past using AppleScript. Well, now you can do it in Lua using this interface to the exact same APIs. In fact, I may give you a little teaser here about one of the other videos I'm going to do. If I open up the dev tools here, and maybe I'm inspecting the page and I wanted to find some element on the page, I don't know, let's find something a little bit complicated here. Unfortunately, this is a rather straightforward page that doesn't have a lot of complex HTML attributes. So I'll just take this one right here. Let's say I want to go to this section right here. Let's just say I want to get access to that element and manipulate it. So if I come over here to the console, I could then do something like QS, and let me zoom in a little bit here. So instead of typing out document query selector all the time, I could just paste in the ID that I copied or whatever attributes I copied. And usually this is enough right here. If I invoke my little shortcut I set up here, this will be sent out to OpenAI, and it spits back JavaScript for me that does exactly what I want here. And this is just a prompt basically where I just type in QS and it figures out the rest because there's a system message that comes along with it that says, I'd like JavaScript that works inside the dev tools out of this. So here's what I'm throwing at you. Can you figure out what it is I'm trying to accomplish? And this is a great use of that. And now I could probably do something else like, maybe I want to scroll that to the view. Let's see what it can come up with here. Okay, there we go. Hey, look, it scrolled right to that element that I was looking at in the inspector. Or is that at elements here? Yeah, this is exactly the one that I had copied out, the search criteria function. It just scrolled into view. So definitely take a look at Hammerspoon. If you don't have something like Keyboard Maestro already or something else like this, it is open source. It's free. It's got a ton of modules that are baked into it itself, as well as I mentioned the spoons. Anyways, if you're already using Hammerspoon or something like it, would you let me know in the comments down below? What are some of the favorite automations that you've set up? What are they? Just describe them to me. I would love to know more about it. I'm always looking for things I can add to my setup, maybe share with other people. Let me know in the comments down below.